Let's start with some things that I think are being misremembered from the first matchup. Thing number one is that Conor McGregor gassed out, and that's what made him go for an ill-advised takedown. Going up to 170 pounds made him lose his cardio. He got tired, went for an ill-advised takedown. I think we are misremembering that because I think what actually made him get tired is a big old 1-2 that hit him over and over late in the fight from Nate Diaz. I think that getting hit with a straight left from Nate Diaz cleanly 3 to 4 times would make anybody tired. I think that we are misremembering that Conor just purely gassed out. Misremembrance number 2 is that Conor McGregor dominated Nate Diaz in the first round. Not true whatsoever. The significant strikes landed were really, really close, and at no point was Nate Diaz wobbled or hurt or in any danger of being finished whatsoever. Misremembrance number 3 is that Conor McGregor has no jiu-jitsu whatsoever. The X-guard sweep at the end of round number 1 tells you that he does have some jiu-jitsu, but also getting choked out with that rear naked, and also the way that he defended the guillotine at the end of the fight shows us that his defensive Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu isn't the best. So the misremembrance there is that he just doesn't have any Jiu-Jitsu whatsoever. He has some. He's pretty good at his offensive Jiu-Jitsu, not so great at his defensive Jiu-Jitsu. Now, before we get into the things that we know, I want to discuss a little bit of what Firas Zahabi said when he was talking about this fight, the rematch. He said that he knows that Conor McGregor had his cardio together when he went into round number 2. And this is going to kind of negate what I said a little bit ago. I think that we don't know that Conor McGregor had his cardio together as he headed into round number 2. The reason I say this is because he was saying over and over, I can go all day, I can do this all day, whatever. The reason I don't think his cardio was purely together right then is because I don't know Conor McGregor, what was going through his brain. And also, I don't have much ground to stand on to go against what Firas Zahabi said, but I can look internally and think about what would I be doing if I were saying that. Let's say that I'm running a 5K or something. I've went past 1 mile and I start getting tired and I tell myself, oh yeah, Brian, I can do this all day. I can do this all day. Come on, Brian, you got this, buddy. What I'm doing is trying to psych myself up and talk myself through the rest of that darn race. The rest of those 2.1 miles or whatever. Maybe that's what Conor McGregor was doing. Just trying to hype himself up to get through the rest of the fight. To get through round number 2. Okay, let's go to things that we know. And things that we know that are different this time than the first time. The first time, both guys only had 10 days notice to fight each other. It's different this time because they've known they were going to fight each other for a super long time. One thing that is different is that first time, Conor McGregor was doing tons of media in preparation to fight Rafael dos Anjos for the 155-pound title. What's different this time is that Nate Diaz has been doing a bunch of media, and Conor McGregor is so against doing media obligations that he fake retired to get out of a press conference. And then also, guys, we have to think about this. That getting taken off of UFC 200 and moved to UFC 202 gave Conor McGregor more time to prepare for Nate Diaz. And yes, it gave Nate more time as well, but that's something that we need to pay attention to. Another thing that we know is that prior to the first time that Conor McGregor fought Nate, he didn't have a southpaw boxer in his camp to help him prepare for Nate. This time he's brought in a southpaw boxer, a lengthy guy to kind of mimic Nate's style and help him prepare for this fight. We're going back to Conor McGregor's lack of jiu-jitsu. This time he brought in a youthful, really talented jiu-jitsu guy to help him prepare and hopefully shore up his defensive jiu-jitsu. Yes, Nate Diaz always trains with high-level guys, so nothing has changed there. But those are the things that we know that are going to be different this time. Last thing that we know that is different this time is that Nate Diaz has been weighing upwards of 200 pounds and has been looking filled out lately. So what I'm saying is his cut could be more difficult or more strenuous this time when he's going to 170 pounds than it was last time. Why is that important? Because he has a fantastic chin. One thing I forgot to mention in the first fight analysis that I did was that I thought Conor could put Nate Diaz down. I forgot to think about that Nate has one of the best chins at 155 pounds, and when he's even more well-hydrated at 170 pounds, it's going to be near impossible to knock out. So why I'm mentioning this is because perhaps the weight cut could be more this time and make him easier to be knocked out. But I don't think that's going to play a factor. We just have to consider it when we're talking about predicting a fight here. All right, last thing here is that I don't think the result is going to be much different, but I do think the fight plays out a whole lot differently than the first time. Conor McGregor said that he's going to come out and he's going to fight the same exact way as he did in the first fight, but that would be stupid. And his coach, John Kavanagh, isn't going to allow that to happen, is he? It would absolutely be ludicrous for him to go in there and fight the same exact way, because if he does, well, I think we're going to get the same exact result. In my first breakdown of their initial fight, I thought that Conor McGregor should come out firing with leg kicks over and over, and people called me an idiot. And while they might be right, Conor McGregor did throw some leg kicks, but I think it would behoove him to throw many more leg kicks. He threw some push kicks to Nate's thigh that really helped him out and buckled Nate's leg at one point. Nate came right back though, hitting him with those 1-2s, obviously finishing the fight. I have a theory that when there's a rematch, the person who wins the first time will also win the second time, only quicker. I'm going away from that theory right here. I think that Nate Diaz wins the fight, but it's going to take him longer to do so this time because Conor McGregor is going to fight a little more intelligently. He's not going to gas himself out or be inefficient, as he said the first time. But I don't think that he's going to be able to put Nate Diaz down. And a long distance game with a guy who trains for triathlons is a game you're going to lose, Conor McGregor. I think that this fight could happen 10 times and Nate Diaz would win 10 times. I've got to be brutally honest here though. I am a Conor McGregor fan and I am cheering for him to get this win. I don't know why he's the favorite. I'm going to call it the upset because how do you lose to a guy, then you're also the favorite immediately after? See Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman. But I want Conor to win. I think that Nate wins, and as long as you could get him at plus money, I think that you ought to try to cash in some chips on old Nathan Diaz. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on my next video. Namaste.